Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. More bad news for the economy and for President Obama. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Unemployment ticked up to 9.2% in June, highest level this year, with the economy adding just 18,000 jobs. Close to 100,000 jobs were expected by some experts. That's a disaster, and obviously has wide-ranging political implications. The president explained the situation today by saying there are a number of forces holding the economy back, and Congress should do more to promote economic growth. Well, with all due respect to President Obama, voters want solutions, not politicking. Republicans were quick to hammer the president and to draw a sharp line about taxes.
It just does not make sense for Americans to suffer under higher taxes in an economy like this. And as the Speaker said, there is no way that the House of Representatives will support a tax increase.
So going forward, President Obama can expect no compromise from the Republicans on a tax increase. It is not going to happen. That means Mr. Obama must cut government spending without raising revenue, something he is adamantly opposed to doing. Negotiations on raising the Fed debt ceiling continue on Sunday, but once again, the president's caught between Barack and a hard place. The big economic news is also, the bad economic news, I should say, is also deadly for American liberalism. The facts say that massive government spending hasn't worked to stimulate the American economy, and that the liberal vision of economics has failed. Most of President Obama's economic advisors have left the building. They're gone. And there are few replacements, and no clear-cut plan to improve the economy coming out of the White House. Some liberal commentators are bordering on desperate, because they know a tax increase will not be forthcoming.
They're paying the lowest taxes in 50 years, in more than 50 years, more than my lifetime, and they are still complaining. And some of them aren't complaining. There are good business people who know this game of chicken in particular is deadly and it's wrong and it's hostage taking. And you shouldn't negotiate with hostage takers.
I agree with you. I agree it's terrorism.
Republicans, you see, have been on this nonstop 30-year mission to murder the American dream by protecting only the rich.
Well, a new Rasmussen Daily tracking poll today has the president's job approval rating at 47%, 52% disapproving. That number likely to be worse tomorrow after the news today. With the presidential election less than a year and a half away, Mr. Obama knows he's in deep trouble. And committed liberals have to know that their vision for the country is crumbling. Talking Points believes this may be one of the worst days that President Obama has had in office. And that's the memo. Now for the top story tonight, reaction from our Barack and a hard place duo. With us now, Andrea Tantaros, in for Monica Crowley this evening, and the legendary Alan Colmes. Both are Fox News analysts. So Colmes, dark day for the president.
Not at all. Not a dark day for the president.
Good day
I don't
for
agree
him?
with your analysis. Not a good day, not a dark day. There's a lot of work to do, and it's got a year and a half to go before the next election. Don't forget the stimulus, 40% of that stimulus were tax cuts. $288 billion in tax cuts. We needed more of that stimulus. This is not a bad issue for liberalism. It's because conservatives and blue dog Democrats would not let the government do all it really needed to do.
The government needed to spend more money.
In fact, according to the Congressional Budget Office, the stimulus was a success and things would have been a lot worse without it. Moody's says the same thing. 2.5 million jobs were created.
But Colmes, as you
we
know,
did not do enough.
As you know, after 15 years of bloviating on this network, and I emphasize the word bloviating, perception is reality in politics.
Yeah.
And the polls show, all of them, that independents have now breaking against President Obama 60-40. So you can sit there and you can say whatever you want to say. The perception among the American people is the president is failing, and the stats today are deadly. They're deadly.
When you say unnamed Republican, that person does very well against President Obama. Once you name the Republican, according to a CBS Times New York Times poll that just came out, nobody rates higher among Republicans than 7%. They're not happy with their own candidates. So once you actually have a candidate and there's a back and forth between two people, I don't see how Obama loses to any of these Republicans going forward.
What you say?
I say you're absolutely wrong, Alan.
I'm shocked.
Look, once you have a Republican candidate who's going to be spending money to bring up the record that you outlined in your Talking Points memo, he's in even bigger trouble than he is today. Look, I think the president, if he acted a little more like very liberal Andrew Cuomo and adopted more policies, even in the state of New York, you see what he's doing, that are more in line with Republican principles, I think the president would have a chance of getting his numbers back on track. Bill, you saw when he tried and to blow his popularity and blow his mandate on very far left things like Obamacare, that's when the president really started to tank. He's got to move and adopt more Republican principles.
I still say that this is devastating. This actual unemployment ticking up to 9.2 with very few jobs is devastating. To me, Colmes, and you know these guys better than I do, there isn't any plan from the White House to reinvigorate the economy. Is there a plan?
Well, they'd like to do another year of payroll tax cuts. I think we can make a trade agreement. Republicans walked out of that. I think we could offer businesses tax incentives who move back to the United States. I think there are a number of things that can be done.
There isn't anything the president has said, listen, we want to do A and B and C, and that will stimulate the economy and bring it back. All of those things that you say are legitimate. I don't have any beef with them, okay? But it doesn't seem like...
He said that today. He said those things actually today. He talked advancing trade agreements. He talked about more payroll tax cuts.
Look, you got to understand, when a voter hears trade agreement, kind of glaze goes over their eyes. They don't...
And he said one other thing, too. He said this today, 1 million construction workers out of work, build bridges, build infrastructure.
But that's more government spending.
You need the government as an instrument in order to do that.
You're continuing to tell a nation that's $14.5 trillion in debt to spend more money.
The government is one of the only instruments that is big enough to be able to pump the money back in, that puts money in people's pockets.
It's hard to believe that you're still adhering to this call.
I'm adhering to it because we need to do more of what we started to do.
It's 2.5 years of failure, and you want to do more failure.
It was not failure. It would have been a lot worse without it.
This is like telling the Kansas City Royals, hey, lose more games.
No.
Okay? It's the same thing.
We didn't do enough of what we needed to do.
They didn't do more. Get us deeper
because
in debt.
Without unemployment would be at 17% right now had we not done what we did.
You don't know that. That's pure speculation.
Alan,
you don't know it would have been better. You don't know it would have been better had we done nothing.
The only thing I have to know is it's 9.2 unemployment today after 2.5 years of spending.
What have Republicans offered besides tax cuts?
Okay, I'm not going to get involved.
What have they offered?
Christina Romer told us if we do nothing, unemployment would be 8.8%. Doesn't that sound good right now?
Based on what?
Doesn't that sound great? Well, then why did the White House say it?
Based on what?
Look, the bottom line is we're not talking even about the last 2.5 years, Bill. Look at the Soviet Union. Look at Greece.
The Soviet Union?
It's a modern day example of what
they don't exist anymore.
Look at history, Alan. You want to spend more? Look what happens when countries have done that.
I think Holmes a pinhead for wanting to spend more money.
You always think I'm a pinhead.
But no, I don't. There's sometimes when you have legitimate points, but here you're grasping at failure.
I'm not grasping.
You're grasping at failure.
Give
me more failure.
I'm telling you, we started to do something.
You're demanding more failure.
We started to do
That's
something.
What you're doing.
We didn't do enough of what we needed to do.
I know. Enough more deficit spending. That's what I want.
Hey, the stimulus, as I said, included 40% of the stimulus were tax cuts. Take more of that, too.
It's
part of the package.
It's Colmes, people are watching you and they go, is he mad? Is he a madman?
What are the Republicans offering? Give me one thing they're saying beside tax cuts.
I'm an independent, but here's what they're offering. You asked? They want to let the private marketplace be unleashed.
Wait a second.
They want lower corporate taxes.
We've got more corporate.
They want less intrusion
we have
by
corporate
the federal
profits
government.
have gone up. Have they taken that money and pumped it back in their business and hired people?
Because they're petrified. Alan, they are petrified of people like you and Barack Obama and what you're going to do. What you just said, more government.
The uncertainty because these Republicans are so intransigent. They're talking about not raising the debt ceiling and paying our debts. That's why people are petrified.
The bottom line is that Wall Street is not supporting President Obama. And President Obama is actually sending guys into Wall Street now, trying to convince them to get back on the team. And they're going, no, we're not going to do anything until he's out of office. Well, Andrea, I'm giving you the last word. You're the guest.
Yeah, look, he's hostile to businesses big and small, and you cannot have that mentality. Alan spelled it out tonight. Government, government, government. It's failed in the past, in the history books, and it's failing us now.
Thank you both for a very lively debate.